Good evening, welcome to this beautiful 1993 Rover 820. I picked this car up about a week or so ago, as well as that car there and that car there, and I really need to get cracking on them, resurrecting them, getting them back on the road. It's this one's turn first, and I know you're sort of probably thinking, you did a Rover last time, we're going to see another Rover again, but it's very different. This is much more modern, and yes, I am a bit of a Rover pervert. Now look, we're going to do things slightly different this time. This car cost me £470, plus in diesel I would say £50 to pick it up. That's what I've spent on this car so far. We're going to track the costs as this thing gets back on the road, and at the end we're going to have a total to see exactly what this thing has cost us. You know, we're going to service it, we're going to do anything it needs, and we're going to get it back on the road. Now, before we get truly stuck into having a look around this thing, how did it end up here? Well, luckily for you, I filmed it all. Check it out. So this car was sat in this garage near Milton Keynes for 8 long years without seeing daylight, just left and abandoned. But we managed to drag it out, get it on the trailer and pull it back to the Tasty Classics workshop. You alright there? I'm alright, just getting over there. Okay. It's alright still. Moving much better now though. Yeah. Might have to try and unbolt that, I think. It's a little bit unsightly. The arse of these cars is the first thing that sort of really attracted me to the 8 series of Rovers. They did the sort of fastback hatchback version like this. They also did the saloon, which I'm showing you now, and they did a coupe. Now the saloon and the coupe's back ends, I think, is one of the nicest back ends of a 90s car going. The lights, the lines, the shape, it's an iconic shape. I remember as a kid I used to have a little Matchbox one and I absolutely loved it. I'm just having a look at this badge on the back and it looks a little bit sketchy. So have a look, see what you think. That has definitely been stuck on by someone. Is this a Sterling? Did they do an 820i? I don't know. Is that legit? Also, that spoiler there. Yep, okay. That's good. What about this side? Okay, we might need to do something about that. Smart though, isn't it? And obviously that thing down there. Twin exhausts. Obviously going to be super powerful. Now I sort of know nothing about this car really. I've not checked if the engine turns over or anything, which is something that I seem to do a lot, isn't it? But yeah, it's just, there's a mirror missing here. Might be in there somewhere, I don't know. It's got like just the right amount of sort of muck on it everywhere. And look, there's a little snail there, which is pretty cool, isn't it? I wonder if that snail's from Milton Keynes and I've sort of pulled him away from all of his family. That tyre looks good, doesn't it? Nice Rover hubcaps. Now it does say on the back Sterling, and I'm pretty sure Sterling didn't come with hubcaps. I think it came with alloy wheels, but anyway, we'll gloss over that. That tyre doesn't look too clever. Is it a... Oh, it's a Goodrich. It's a Goodrich. Oh no, it's a good ride. A good ride. What the hell is that? You can see it's had a little bit of paintwork along there at some point, tidying up the arches. Doesn't look in bad nick so far though, does it? You know, all the front end looks complete, looks quite nice. Might polish up quite well. What about this wheel? Nice tyre there, looks alright. Wonder if these are going to be okay. Oh, that's red. Red stripes. Ah, so we've got silver stripes on this side. And we've got red stripes on this side. Maybe we're just waiting for the red to fade off and then they'll all be silver. That's cool. We'll have a little look into that. This mirror's here though. That's great news. A little bit of brown coming there. That's also fantastic. Wipers. Yeah, they'll go again. There's not as much air in this tyre as there is in the rest. It's another good ride as well. Look at this as well. Oh yeah, I love that. For some reason, like most cars aren't attached there on the bumper. Weird, isn't it? This has obviously had some sort of paintwork in the past, but oh, nice, clean enough. Little practical classic, you know, it's just not too bad, is it? I don't know what it's going to be like underneath. I mean, I can see evidence of welding down there, so again, not sure what it's going to be like. The MOT history on the car actually makes for really good sort of reading. It's very, it's just like needs the odd tyre or something, you know, so great. I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, it has been sat for 8 years since it last had an MOT, but yeah, we'll have a little look underneath of it at some point. I got this key with it. That's all I got with it, was this key and a logbook and a couple of other little bits. So we need to get stuck in and just really see what's inside this car, see what waits for us, you know. Let's start in the boot. All right then, what do you think so far? It's pretty good, isn't it? That did not feel nice going in there. That doesn't want to turn. Is that the real key? Oh. Just tried to sort of open the boot then, but it didn't work. Is there a handle here? We definitely had the boot open on this at some point when I picked it up. I've just found another key. Please God, please God. Oh, you beauty! Oh my God, that's incredibly heavy. Okay. So we'll add a couple of struts to the shopping list. Look at this thing. Why do all Rovers and Austins and British Leyland stuff have mould on them? Okay. Okay. Great. Do you want to have a look? How are we going to do it though? Because I'm going to have to go and get the... Oh. Well, I'll leave that in place so you can see what that was for. Luckily there's a bit of wood here that I just ripped off the fence, so let's... Oh God, it's made to measure. Please. What? Ah. I'm sure that'll be fine. It's just occurred to me that I'm not really going to be able to film this effectively without getting the next two resurrection cars in the shot at all times, because as I said, there's cars all around me. So let's just quickly go through what's here. You've got the Mondeo, which is now sold and awaiting collection. Under there is a Panhard PL17, which is a parts car for my Panhard in there. In the garage, you've got a Rover 100 P4, which you saw last time, and it's great. It was a fantastic little series that thoroughly enjoyed it. This is the best car in the world. This is a 1969 Ford F250 with what I drive to do like tip runs and get tyres and stuff. This is one of the new resurrection cars. This is a 1952 Sunbeam Talbot 90, which is giving me sleepless nights. This is another one of the resurrection cars which I only picked up yesterday. This is a Saab 1.9 TID Port, and this is my Land Rover Discovery. The camper van at the end is nothing to do with me. So I hope, now that we've got all that out of the way, that I'm going to be able to film this without worrying that I'm getting something in shot and having to potentially clip all the sort of areas that I want to film. So, right, where were we? Oh yeah, this boot. I don't know how well you can tell on camera, but my first impression was, why all sort of Rovers and Austins, their cloth, I don't know what it is, but it just gets like mouldy when they've been sat. I mean, hopefully that's going to clean up nicely. Oh look, there's a little spider. Where you going, buddy? Oh no, it's a fly. Or it was a spider that flies. Terrifying. There is a spider there that flew, by the looks of it. Anyway, yeah, mouldy, great stuff. Under here, this is a bit floppy. It hasn't got any ropes attached to it, which is again a bit of a shame, but it's fine. It's held up by this bit of wood, which again, fantastic. What's this? Why is that there? There is a mirror, completely the wrong thing, but looks a bit smashed as well. Doesn't look like that's going to be much use to us. Some sort of buttons, modules. What's this one? Little cubby hole. It's wet as well. Why is it wet? It's been raining quite heavily here, so we're now probably discovering that it leaks. In there we've got a lot of dust, and yeah, some more walnut veneer. Jacks, 2 jacks. If you want to do 2, look at this water. What the hell? Oh my God, is this soaking wet? I might take this out and put it in the workshop. Anyway, we've got 2 jacks, and that's if you want to change 2 wheels at once. I'm intrigued as to why there's another seat base in there. Okay. Oh, look at all this. It's a bit swanky, isn't it? What the fuck? What's that? What's this? That makes no sense. What's that for? Is that a lock? Is it? What is it? Why? What? What's that for? I don't understand. That one's got it as well, over there. I'm confused. There's a Haynes manual. Oh, what a result. D to NREG. Fantastic. We'll keep that. I won't take it out the car though. Yeah, that's missing. That's okay. We don't sit in the back and smoke anyway. Sit in the front and smoke. Right, so I can tell with this here that is a seat back, but it's not installed. There's cobwebs and there's mould. Oh, good Lord, look at that. You have to get the wet back out for this. Oh, it's on the headlining as well. Oh, good grief. Looks like an electric window switch, that's cool. Okay. It smells like my grandma's bathroom in there, it's not good. Oh, there's a lot of mould everywhere. I hope the wet vac's going to be up for this. Real nice leather seats. I've got a couple of leather headrests as well that probably go with that seat back. Throw them back there. The tow ball from the tow bar that we're definitely going to not use. Oh, okay. That is a new one of those. Maybe we can make one sort of good mirror out of those two pieces. We'll have a little go at that then. That is obviously just water. If you're not familiar with Rovers, they came as standard from the factory with a bottle of water in there for your comfort. So when the car overheats and say it's cold or something outside, you can just go into the engine bay, pour the water in, and you can be comfortable again. That's what this is for. All Rovers have those because they all overheat. Oh, here we go. Maybe that's the mirror that sort of snapped off, and we can use this black plastic bit instead of that white one. It's all coming together. What's in the glove box? Is that tank disc holder? Sketchy. Do you want to have a look? A little bit of wear on these, but I mean they look quite nice and comfortable and serviceable. They look really comfortable, to be honest. Look how gross that is. That is absolutely hacking, isn't it? Hopefully that'll scrub up nicely. Someone's made their own gear gator. Okay, oh, a tape player. Oh, please work. I hope that works. Haven't listened to my tapes for ages. That clock, what's this? Oh, that's the throttle there. So if you want to go faster, you just press that. If you want to go slower, you just press that. That's pretty cool. Dash feels a little bit sketchy. There's stuff not quite. There's just, you know, it's all a little bit. What, that shouldn't be like that. Rovers were built better than that, I'm pretty sure. Okay. Okay, we'll leave that. What's inside this gross compartment? Oh, a place to put your tapes. Missing that there on this side as well. I don't get this. I can't wait to find out what that's all about. Another X-Spider. That's pretty cool. Yeah, okay, again, sills and stuff, and these rear arches, they look very serviceable, usable. Why is that door shaking so much? Watch this door now. That's weird. Something's not right there either. That's moving around. This doesn't look particularly well attached. I think we've got a little bit of work to do by the looks of it. Electric stuff, you know, but we can, looks like it works, looks like it's attached. We can maybe find some parts. We can sort it. Okay. Very, very classy steering wheel cover. Going over what looks like an absolutely horrendous steering wheel. Why is this seat so far forward? Who's been in there? Let's can I move it? Yeah. Do I dare put my hand down there? Yeah, I can move it. That's cool. Again, driver's seat looks nice, looks comfy. This looks like you can pump it up and down. What are we showing? Look, 119,000 miles. That's good, isn't it? That's not many at all. Looks like a nice little cockpit, this though, if it was clean and the car worked. Does look like quite a nice place to be. Dashboard again, very, very grubby. I know it's been sat for 8 years, but this is going to need a proper good interior scrub, I think. Really like this Rover on here. Really smart. Alright then, so look, to summarise, something's fishy about this car. The interior has definitely been swapped out. The badges on the back have been added on. It's not got alloy wheels. I think Sterling was one of the higher spec cars, and I think that badge has potentially just been put on. Someone's been trying to upgrade what this car is, but it doesn't matter too much. We've got leather seats. Hopefully that backrest fits. If it doesn't, we can just tidy the other one up, make it look all nice. We've got a sunroof. The hubcaps are all there. It looks quite nice. Missing a couple of little trim bits, but it is what it is. They can just be found at some point in the future. It looks like, you know, we might need to stick a couple more screws into places, you know, dog a couple of 4-inch wood screws in to hold door cards on. I'm joking, of course. But yeah, apart from that, it could be all right. The elephant in the room, though, is what's lurking under here. Will this work? It doesn't look like it. Come on. Oh, thank God for that. Oh, wow. What a large engine bay for such a relatively small engine. Now, if you're watching in America, please don't judge us, but this is a 2-litre engine in a car this big. It's not a particularly fast one by the looks of it, and in this space you could fit a much bigger engine. In fact, you could buy these with, I think it was 2.7 litre V6s, which were pretty cool engines. But this is a 2-litre 16 valve, and it's potentially a kettle. And by that I mean the head gasket's probably gone, because most of these Rovers had, you know, fucked head gaskets. That's just how they were. Although that doesn't look too shabby under there. Whoops. Oh, what have we got in there? Yeah, do you know what? It's really nice and clean. Maybe we might be lucky, who knows? Wonder why it was parked up in that garage though. Right, alternator looks mouldy, that's good, that's how they're supposed to look. That belt looks ripe for change. Are we going to do that? Probably not. That pipe there's also mouldy. How's that pipe got mouldy? This is where a battery would live. And this is where you could live as well, because there's huge amounts of space. It's just chasms everywhere. You can tell, oh God, right. So straight away you can tell that this is probably quite a lowly spec'd car, because there's no AC radiator. You've just got a water radiator there. So there's no AC with this car. This is potentially a little bit of a poverty spec thing, but whatever. We've got one of these, we've got one of those, so that's good news, isn't it? Some brake pipes there that don't look too shabby. Some sort of computerized gizmos there. Nice fuel filter, looking rusty in all the right places. That was loose. Here we go. Oh my God, is that water? Oh my God, a Rover with water in its header tank. Is this some kind of magic trick? Power steering fluid, at least it's got power steering. That'll be nice if it works. Brake fluid. Come on, spin round. These never spin round. Oh God, there we go. Oh, it's got juice. It's got brake juice. I wonder if the brakes work. Oh my God. It's exciting, isn't it? I've just spilt some brake fluid on whatever that was. Now, I jest about these engines. They're actually pretty good, but it is a DOHC 16 valve. And as we all know, DOHC does overheat constantly. And that's why I say it's because it's stamped in there. You know, I'm not making it up. That's just how it is. It literally says it right there. It's just started to pour it down. Right, what are we going to do first? Let's do what any sane person would and just chuck a battery in it and see what happens. See if this engine turns over on the key. See if we get some dash lights. We can do all that from inside as well. It's 3 minutes later and the sun's now out, so that's good, isn't it? Right, I've used this battery a million times to start different things. It's probably well past its sell-by date, but let's throw it in this thing and see if it does anything. Nope, seems to be okay. Let's get the key and get inside it. So I very cleverly left this door open because I just wanted to get this bit of the seat really wet. So I'm glad I did that. Right, we've got 2 keys. Let's try this one first. Goes in down here. Standard. Okay, let's try this one instead. Okay, it's fine. What's wrong? But why? Oh, noise! I can hear noise. Okay. Right then, have we got ignition lights? Oh my god, we've got ignition lights. Not as many as I would have assumed though. Is it out of gear? Oh, that feels really sloppy. Looks like there's some fuel in it. I mean, we could just twist the key, couldn't we? For some reason the fans just come on. I don't know why. Maybe it thinks it's overheating already. It's prematurely sort of doing it. Anyway, looks like there's a bit of fuel in it. I don't know what that fuel is going to be like. I can't imagine it's going to be very good after 8 years, but should we do it? Okay, you're the boss. You absolute dreamboat of a car! Holy smokes, look at this! Oh wowee! So frustrating. After all that messing about getting on the trailer, I could have just taken a battery down with me and driven it on. If it drives. When I picked it up, I mean, he was happy to drag it out with the trailer, so maybe he knows something that I don't. But good God, would you listen to that? Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Well, I'm joking, of course. We're going to do more to it than next. Okay, I'm going in. Oh my God, I'm inside. My hair just touched the headlining. I hope I'm not going to now get like measles, mumps and rubella or something, whatever that is. Right, okay, so the engine runs, look. I mean, it actually does. I'm not making this up, it is running. What does this pedal do? It actually sounds amazing as well. There's probably a lot of you screaming out, oh, what about the cam belt? Oh, you should do that. Have you ever watched this channel before? Cam belts are... Oh, why did it just rev up? Cam belt... Oh, why is it revving up? Cam belts are... what's the word? They're just... It's like gambling, cam belts. If you just leave it, you don't have to do it. And if it goes wrong, well, it goes wrong. Oh, good Lord, what's happening there? Oh my God, is that 2 spiders wrestling? 2 massive spiders wrestling? There's 3 of them! Probably absolutely furious that I've woken them up. God, this thing sounds so sweet. Right, back to what works and what doesn't. There is a sunroof. Yep, that's normal. Does this light switch work? No, that's normal as well. What about this one? Does this one work? No, that's normal as well. We found out that this does work. Hold your breath. You can hear it, but I don't think it's doing much, but I think it's doing something. Power steering. Oh my God, the power steering works. Oh my God, this thing's practically running and driving. What's this? Rear washer, rear wash wipe. We can't see because the boot's open. Right. Here's a money shot, ladies and gentlemen. That C, I think, means code. But if you can see that C, but it means security code. Oh, what a pain. We can pull this off, pull this out, pull one out, pull this up, we can remove this tape player, and there's some numbers on the back, and we can send those numbers off to someone on the internet and then give us the code. We can work on that. What does this do then? Honestly don't know. Hazards? Potentially working. What about this stalk here covered in dust? Okay. Okay, come on, you can do it. Come on. Come back to life. Come on. This is the most exciting bit of television since, I don't know, Del Boy found that watch. Come on. They are moving. Let me see if I can give it a helping hand. Ah, 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 windscreen wipers. Slowest windscreen wipers in the world, but god damn it, they are working. What about the washer spray thing? Oh yeah, okay, right. Should we drive it down to the MOT now then, or what? Oh my god, what a dream. And what about over there, sir? Of course they work. Of course they work. It's a Rover. Genuinely never seen windows on a Rover that don't work. What is this? Right. So this is my theory, okay? So all the door cards and everything and seats and stuff has been replaced with this sort of slightly nicer leather setup. And what's happened is, obviously they used to be electric, but on this base spec model, which this probably was, they were windy wind up ones, and he's just drilled a hole through and stuck the window winder on there. So I mean, it's fair enough. It's cool, it's confusing, it's funky, I like it. You know, this thing's not run in years, and that is just, I mean, it's quite sweet smelling steam, which, you know, that's just completely normal, isn't it? You know, all cars do that, don't they? Why are you bringing it up? Why are you worrying about it? Tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be a fucked head gasket. I'm going to do the lights on this car now, so you have a look, and you look at the lights and then you tell me. If you can shout as loud as you can, because I'm not going to be able to hear you, am I? Headlights. Okay, we've got one. Brake lights. The brake pedal feels good as well. I probably should have checked that first, shouldn't I? But it does feel alright. Incredible. Do those lights work? That one works. So does that one. Number plate lights are both working. God, this thing's fantastic. Did the reverse light come on then when I did that? The clutch feels good, but I have noticed that the release bearing's quite loud. That's fine. They all are, aren't they? Right, fog lights. Oh my god, it's ready for an MOT once you replace this bulb. One last thing. I'm trying to do the washer. It's not playing ball. Same again, please, but at the front, if you don't mind. Side lights. Headlights. Main beam. I guess I'll have to watch that back. How about I move a couple of cars and we'll see if this thing goes forwards and backwards. Could this be the easiest, quickest resurrection to date? Or did I just massively jinx it? Look at this thing just running, just ticking away, minding its own business. I'm letting it run like this because I just want to see what happens more than anything. I want to see if like the temperature gauge works and stuff, just while I'm moving these cars, you know. Just so I was about to move that big piece of American pig iron. This thing just stopped running. Okay. Why? Why have you stopped running? So there's water flowing around the radiator. The oil was really nice, looked good. Okay, what happened? Oh! I think because the battery died. Oh dear. Oh dear. Right, okay. Maybe that battery is toast, or maybe this alternator's toast. Interesting. I do have another battery. One more to try. Sad times. Right, let's get this big lummox out the way. Will it start? Ignition on, 2 pumps. And it fires straight into life. This is what it's like if you drive it quite regularly. How am I going to get out of here? Okay, battery number 2 in. What's going to happen now? That one's dead also. Cool. I just found this one under some leaves in the back of the workshop. Battery number 3, our survey says. Okay, that one's dead as well, for God's sake. That's a nice new battery I bought for the Rover. The other Rover. Rovers share batteries, that's what they do. Our survey says. Oh, thank God, we're back in business. Right, should we see if she moves? Oh, hi, I'm just going for a spin in my Rover to do some sort of banking or finance or something. Right, will it go forwards? That clutch release bearing is noisy. Come on, baby. And as I just demonstrated, it bloody goes backwards as well. Come on! This is the best car I've ever bought for 470 quid. Oh. I'm in love already. I like Rovers. Right, do you want to come with us and we'll go for a little spin? Second gear. Oh, good Lord. What a majestic animal. This thing is a dream. Is this real life? Oh, nice little box there. Look at this thing go. Does it stop? Oh my God, it stops a little bit too well. I might have to pump some air into those brake lines so I feel a bit more at home, you know. God, this thing is immense. Honestly, I'm not even joking. This has been sat for like 7 or 8 years, and it is driving around here better than any car I own does. This is insane. It feels so nice. So nice to drive. Second. Oh my God, I could see myself in this car. I love it. It is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Clutch feels great, brakes feel great, steering feels great. What an amazing thing. Oh my God. I'm in love. I'm in love. I've always wanted a Rover 820 and here I am driving one. You know, 470 quid later plus collection. Look at the bloody mess on the floor from driving it through that big puddle. I'm going to get the multimeter out and I want to see if it's charging. It does seem to be sort of idling quite high. I don't know what that's in aid of. You know, like 1500 RPM. And also the fan is going, which leads me to sort of wonder if we've got a coolant temperature sensor issue. Everything seems to feel like, you know, normal temperatures though, and the fan is just constantly going, so I think it's going to be okay. Right, are we charging? Our survey says that is a negative. Not only are we not charging, but we're really low on volts. Oh, nothing I own charges, so it possibly does want an alternator, or we could try and spray some stuff in it. I think I might have just solved the mystery of why it's idling so high. This feels a little bit... yeah, so this is a little bit like not great here. You can see someone's put a time up around it, so maybe a load of WD-40 on that will sort it out. But yeah, we're not charging, so we're going to be looking at an alternator. Now I'll find out how much one of those is and we'll add it to the cost so far, but also we're going to need a battery for it, because I can't just, you might not have an old Rover 100 with a new battery in it lying around, but I do. I'm also going to get, I was thinking, shall I get some service items? Should probably change the oil, but then the oil looked really good. I'm trying to do this on a budget and it sounds sweet as a nut and the oil looked amazing. So I'm kind of the impression that it had a service not that long before it was tucked away in the garage, and frankly we are trying to keep costs down. I've put the feelers out to see if anybody's breaking one of these. I just want to check a few things now that it's been sort of sitting there cooling down. Not tons of pressure in there, which is great, and all the water is still there. I don't know if you can see, but it hasn't all turned into steam and come out the exhaust, which is fantastic news because it was running for a little while, wasn't it? What an awesome car. So I think for the rest of the day, we should get this thing up in the air, have a good scan underneath, and just check everything out. See what it's like. See what's waiting for us underneath there. See if there's anything obvious that we need for an MOT. And then tomorrow or the next day, I'm going to pull this thing outside, we'll get the jet washer on it, we'll get Henry and George from their hiding places and suck all the muck away and maybe scrub some of the mould out of it as well, and just hopefully make it look a lot nicer. So then it's probably more likely to pass an MOT. And then we'll do all the lights, do a few other bits, hopefully we'll get ourselves an alternator, a battery, anything else that we need, and then we're all sorted and we can send it down the road. I didn't check though to see if the air filter was in there or what it looked like, so I'm going to have a quick look now. And that should give us a bit of an idea of when it was last serviced. Alrighty then. What's under here? Oh, good grief. It's a bit black, isn't it? I mean, that doesn't look like it's been changed since, I don't know, the stock market crash of 2008. Or was it the housing market crash? I can't remember, it was something like that. There was a recession anyway, I remember that very much. Right, so we probably need to do a bit of a service kit on it because that is rough as toast. So let's get one of those, 4 spark plugs, an oil filter and some oil. And at least, you know, we've made an effort. We can't not do it. I mean, I know it's going to add to the expense but it's not going to be much, probably 50 quid, maybe a tiny bit more, but it's going to be worth doing. So let's get that done. That loud noise you can hear is my air compressor compressing air so I can pump all these tyres up. God. That looks like quite a new nut on there. Seems to move nicely. Looks in good shape. I'll take these wheel nuts off and then you can have a gander. These wheels look in really good shape as well. There's no rust to them or anything, which is nice. My immediate sort of attention is drawn to the fact that this is very smooth. And we'll probably not go through an MOT, so we are going to need tyres as well, which is a bit annoying, isn't it? So I will put that to one side, load it into the Discovery later, and we'll stick some tyres on it. Mike, do you want to have a look? I mean, up in here, it looks all right, doesn't it? I mean, brake pipes and everything look decent. Calipers don't look too bad. Discs. Is there much meat left on those? Oh my God, that's a lip and a half. Oh my God, that is some lip. Oh, right, we are adding to costs here, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get the torch. As you can see, there is about 1 pubic hair's width of brake pad left on that, and the lip on that disc is, well, horrendous. So, we're going to be into this for a set of discs and pads on the front as well. Cool, I'll add that to the list. The tyre on this side is also sports, so I wonder if we've got issues with bottom wishbones or... God, look at that for a mental setup for a bottom wishbone. Oh wow, that's quite extraordinary. Look at that anti-roll bar link as well. I bet we're going to need those because that doesn't look particularly healthy. See what he picks up though, but yeah. A bit strange, isn't it? But this disc again and pad completely wants changing. That oil filter as well. Halfords. Cool. But yeah, inside, not the worst. In the back, these things are a little bit tough to spin, but could be worse. Just needs a bit of a scouse service up and down the road, I think. All very nice and solid there though. Why isn't this held on? We might have to get creative with a solution for that, but we'll come back to it at some point. What about this one? Oh yeah, it's not too bad. It's okay. It's okay. Down there again. I mean, are we buying solid cars now? Is that what we're doing? It would seem so. Mind you, you did just see that sunbeam outside, didn't you? Looks really good in there. Looks decent. So there's a bit of stuff to do, but I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's pretty much service and maintenance items, which is kind of good, isn't it? Apart from the alternator, but and the wing mirror there. But yeah, it's all, you know, it's just bits that we can do. I don't know what this means, but it can't be good. That looks a little bit crusty. I reckon he's going to stab a screwdriver through there, but yeah, I would have thought so. Might just be a plate or something, but I reckon we might be in for something. That's all okay up there. Yeah, I mean, I'm just scared now after that Mondeo, you know, what's going to happen to this, but inside that sill there looks great, doesn't it? Really good. On this side, what's the outer sill like on this side? I mean, maybe might stab a screwdriver through there. We have had some plates in the past, as you can see. I don't know if... I mean, yeah, again. Oh, no. It's a bit crusty. Yeah, not a lot Not a lot I can do about that apart from just sort of see where we get up to, see what he does. But if it's a few plates on here, we can just do a similar thing, can't we? Plate it up and weld it, as long as it's not, you know, it doesn't look as bad as that Mondeo, does it? You know, all the chassis bits look good, floor, you know, all this setup here, yeah, springs and everything look okay, don't they? It doesn't look in bad nick at all. Definitely could be worse. This one's taking off several bolts, so we'll stick a load of plus gas on there. That one's actually ripping itself out of the boot floor, which is pretty cool. But yeah, we'll do something about that. The exhaust is moving around a little bit much, I think. We're hitting that, but we'll see. Look at this machine. A red cat. Oh, very strange. Looks like it's run over a cat at some point as well. Oh, it's just insulation. Bit of a weep from the sort of gearbox selector rod there. Vintage British Leyland issue. Oh dear, we've got some brake pipes in need of a bit of a scrape and copper grease, so we'll do that before it goes as well. Or are they power steering? Oh yeah, that's power steering, isn't it? But yeah, we can give those a bit of a tart up. All the pipes, brake pipes here, front to back, look nice. Yeah, groovy. Okay, all right, we've got a bit of work to do. I've run out of plus gas, so I'm back to using WD-40. Now, what do you reckon the chances are of these bolts coming undone? They're all very rusty. Let's find out. What should we go for first? Impact, or should we try it with a bar? Impact, okay, good choice. Oh. A lot of things just fell on me. Okay, let's try the bar. Thing is with these tow bars is they design them so that they don't come off. Oh God! Oh. Oh. Just snaps off. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Our survey says, hey, oh, this one feels like it might undo. Oh. I mean, it's definitely just spinning on the one inside the boot, which is frustrating, isn't it? I mean, we could just, instead of having to try and, let's do that. If you're wondering as well why I'm removing this tow bar and not simply just rebolting the tow ball back to it, I know from experience that if a tow bar is attached, it has to be secure and work. And not only is it a bit ugly as well, but this bit here is a bit rusty, which we might have to put a plate over. But I know that if he spots that and spots the tow bar, it's never going to pass. And it's just an extra thing for him to add on. So yeah, what I'll probably do though is tuck this wiring up in there somewhere with a few tie wraps, so if someone does want to put a tow bar on in the future, I can probably leave this in the car. They can use this wiring, you know. So the real interesting thing is that this just fell out of there. And this one's all crusty as well. So we probably are going to be looking at a couple of plates. It's a sad thing about tow bars as well. That wouldn't have rusted and that wouldn't have failed if it wasn't for the tow bar being put on. The tow bar's made of very poorly coated sort of hard steel, and this is quite well coated car metal. And then when obviously this has been fitted, that metal has rusted first, and the rust has got underneath, got through where the hole's been cut, and just rotted the thing out. So yeah, not ideal. We'll probably have to put a couple of plates in there. There might be some welding on this car, but you know, hopefully not as much as that Mondeo, eh? Now, this is all a little bit crusty here, and I don't want him to sort of pull us up on anything with it. So I'm going to wire brush it all and then give it a coat of something. So this is what it looks like now, and I'll show you what it looks like in a second. Rubbed it all down, and I've just essentially just came all over it. I just essentially put this infolithium grease all over it, which just makes things a bit nicer, and is going to make these pipes last for a lot longer than if I'd have just left them, even if the MOT guy hadn't said anything. These all look fairly new as well, which is great. I've just sort of noticed, well, that one does, this one doesn't particularly, but might explain the sort of tyres. Boots as well, I think, are okay. Yeah, could be worse, could be worse. So there we go then. Day one on this big old bus is drawing to a close. I'm going to go home and make a head start on editing, and then make a head start on getting absolutely hammered tonight because it's Friday. So I'll see you in a few seconds, hopefully with a minimal hangover. It's the next day, and I want to take this thing out there and give it a good wash, get the interior done, do all that lovely job before we have to start digging into it mechanically. I just want to try something. I found my old alternator hammer, so let's give it a go. Someone on the internet suggested that I should try that, so I did. Didn't work. Anyway, let's get her outside and get her washed. She is a bit of a mucky pup. Very dirty. So let's see if we can't scrub her up a bit, you know. Now, what I would use for this is, and you don't have to do the same as me, of course, but you can if you want, is a clapped out, old, very tired Karcher pressure washer. A tiny little bit of Demon wheels that you've got left in the cupboard. Some very, very cheap generic snow foam. And then this, which you don't have to, but I find it's very good for doing stuff like cleaning the inside of these bits and making it all nice and shiny, and any other bits that might need a bit of harder scrubbing action, you know. So let's cue the music and switch the water on. what a difference a little bath makes. Look at how well those hubcaps have come up. Real nice. So just going to get a lot of the water off it, the big sitting water, with this blade. And that'll just help it dry, because I might want to do some other bits to it, you know, which I'll need it to dry out for. I will not be able to, with a good conscience, drive around in this car with this badge on. It is an 820i, but I don't know what this Sterling thing's all about, and I don't know why they're so higgledy-piggledy. So they've got to go. It's plain and simple, they've just got to go. God, this one's stuck on well. I'm going to keep all these letters as well. I don't know, could make something out of them, couldn't we? What anagram? Let me know in the comments if there's an anagram you can make out of Sterling 820i. Is it an anagram or conundrum? I don't know, I haven't watched Countdown in a long time. But yeah, is there any funny words we could make out of that I could put on the side of my toolbox? I don't know about you guys, but that looks a million times better. Just having those nasty things on there just made it look a bit cheap and ugly. And yeah, we have got a little bit of paint damage there, but I still think it's a million times better than it was. I'd rather have that than some squiggly letters. So yeah, what else have we got? I mean, paintwork wise, it's all right, but you know, this is a bit, it's obviously had some paintwork in the past. I'm going to try and get some stuff just to mount that down. The bolts, it's not missing any bolts, it's just, it was held down with one bolt, which is in there, and then the rest of it was like a glue. So we're going to just put some more big, no more nails type stuff under there to hold it solid. All the door jambs, everything like that, really clean, really nice. All looking superb, you know. So next job for me, just for a laugh, I'm going to try and get the stereo out. Now you need special keys to take these out, and I do have a set, but I don't know where they've gone. I put them somewhere safe to keep them safe, and they're so safe I now can't find them. But I'm hoping these will work, because I need the code off the back of it. Bit of wiggling with a couple of these badges there, and it has come loose. So what I need is serial number, which is down there somewhere, and I'm going to send it off to someone on eBay. I think you pay about 15 quid or something, and then you get the code, which is fantastic. So let's do that. I've not got loads left of today, which is annoying, because I really wanted to get stuck into these lesions, but I'm going to save that for another day, because waiting for the code, done this badge on the back. I want to do this mirror. I've got this here, I've got this here, got that there, Rob's here.
Hiya.
We've just been filming a little bonus episode of the Rover, which I think by now you've possibly already seen. So we're going to make a good one out of these and chuck them on. I've got to get the spring off.
Springs are always good fun, aren't they?
I'm scared, I don't want to do it. It's just no, oh God. Oh no, I haven't broken it already, have I? No, it's just scratched. Okay. I've got a hook actually. Let's see if we can do it without snapping the hook.
Or gouging an eye out. Oh.
A better one. Right.
Safety squints engaged.
If it goes, it'll fire that way, won't it?
Well.
Oh my god, it's so... I can't even get the back of it.
This has just got injury written all over it, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, fucking hell, that'd go into you with some force, wouldn't it?
This is the bits they never show you on, like, mainstream TV car restoration shows, isn't it?
Exactly that, yeah.
The risks you have to take.
Yeah, how likely you are to slice through your main vein.
Sever an artery. Oops.
Oh, sorry, just let go of that thing.
Oh.
Oh my god, it doesn't want to come off.
I think it's going to have to be this end, because look at that large gap there is designed so the arm will...
We don't need this bit.
No, but...
Why don't we just cut it off there and then...
Oh no, it's going to go bang, innit?
Well, it's kind of, yeah.
But then we've still got to get a good one off the other mirror.
Yeah, but...
I think. Hook that end.
Oh! Ooh! I think that's in a better place. But the thing is, I can't getting underneath that is really difficult.
There you go, you're in. Such a girl's blouse at times.
It's just a fucking touch. Wait, it won't go. I can't do it. There's absolutely no way. Oh, it was just digging into that, that's why.
There you go.
You need, like, protectors on your wrists.
Yeah. Right. Now what we've got to do is...
Hang on, shall I clean this up first? Because this is really... Oh,
it's covered in araldite and all sorts, isn't it?
What about the other one? What's the other one like?
Here's one we prepared earlier.
That's much nicer. Can we put this one on?
Yeah, you're going to have to do it again now.
Well, that was practice, wasn't it?
Yeah. Right, 2-second job this then. 2, 1.
I just don't like the spiky bit, like, pointing towards any of my wrists. It's terrifying, man. Oh, nice, okay.
See, practice makes perfect. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? And then the spring holds it all together.
Yeah?
Yeah, nice.
So all you have to do is get that on there?
All you have to do is get that on there. All you have to do.
Okay.
There's been no severance yet, so... look at that. Beautiful.
Oh, come on. Do you want it, as soon as you took that off, Rob, do you want the honours of
thanks, pal.
Finishing the job?
Without breaking the mirror.
Another exceptional result there. I mean, it's free as well, so it didn't cost us anything to do. And we've got a nice mirror, which is superb.
Love the way it folds out as well.
It's really good, isn't it? Nice. So, yeah, I mean, I've just got to wait for parts now and clean the interior. That's the next stop. So apparently the code is 8662, and it's given us some instructions of how to sort of attach the code to the stereo. So switch radio on, radio displays C. Press preset 1 and that will appear. Press tuning up for correct digit, which is 8. And then press preset 1 to enter. Okay. Oh, made a noise. Oh my god, it works. Oh my god, it works. We're inside. I don't know if we're going to have any signal.
The bank, and you're paid 5% interest rate annually at the end of each year. So how many years does it take for the 10,000?
Let's get a cassette tape. I've put 90s blue-eyed pop sensation Natalie Imbruglia in the stereo, and well, here we go. It kind of does work, but also kind of not. I'm wondering if that's the tape. It's probably the tape. But yeah, it's a bit, and it might just be because the battery is very, very low, because we've not put the new battery in yet. This is the old battery out of the MR2, I think, actually. So it might work better after that. But the main thing is, stereo works. Fantastic. One thing off the list. And I do remember as well, there's one thing that we didn't try the other day. Horn works. I got some tiger seal to fix this, and then I looked underneath and I could see that it is actually missing a bolt. So I'm going to get a fixing put in either side of these, and then hopefully that'll mean I don't have to sort of glue it down, you know. An array of lovely parts have arrived. We've got discs, we've got pads, oil filter, spark plugs, very importantly an alternator, wiper blades for the front and for the back. We've got an air filter, a battery and some oil. And we're now going to go through them one by one, fitting them to the Rover. I also forgot to mention these bad boys, and because I forgot to mention them, we'll fit them first. I used to live near the Quinton Hazel factory, how cool is that? Anyway, these are the boot struts. Total cost £45.46. And I know what you're thinking. It's a lot of money. Thing is though, you know, these top quality Welsh parts don't come cheap, do they? You know, you get what you pay for. And they're very, very easy to install. They're just on little clips. And they just slot in. Are you going to hold if I do this? Oh, shit. So easy. A child could do it. Oh, you miserable bastard thing. Okay. It's very straightforward and easy and simple. Why aren't you working? Why have you come out like that? Jesus Christ. This is all going wrong. Oh my God, the clip has fallen inside the thing and I can't get it out. This is some sort of joke. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's like a real boot on a real car. It was so easy. 46 quid though. With hindsight as well, I could have probably only just bought one because the other one seems to be strong enough. So probably could have saved half that money, but whatever, it's got two new ones. Cool. My work in this part of the car is done. Actually, sorry, my mistake. No, it's not. Rear wiper, total cost £2.59 plus VAT. What a beagen. And they just go on so easily. You know, there's some men out there that pay Halfords to do this for them, and yet that's how long it takes. Right, front ones. These two front wipers were £3.60 plus VAT for both of them, for two. £3.60 for two, not each. It's just so cheap. Let's stick them on. Wunderbar, what a difference that'll make. Right, back under the bonnet. I've taken the battery out, the old battery, because we've got a new one to put in, just down there. And we've got to get this alternator off. Now, it's got a cover here, which is held on, which I'm just going to smash off with a screwdriver. And then you've got 3 bolts behind it, and then you've got 2 bolts along there, which allow you to remove the alternator. So let's get stuck into that. I probably should have bought a new belt as well, but, oh well, looks okay, doesn't it? That doesn't look like it'd be particularly good for you if you breathe it in, does it? So I'll try not to breathe it in then. Right, what's first? This little bolts. Are they 10s? Yes, they are. Lovely. Oh. Oh, come on. Put that hose there. Ah. Okay, it's out. What a lovely machine. Is it going to be the same as the one I've got? I don't know. Ah. Yeah, looks pretty cool. The bolt holes line up, that's the main thing. Ah. Yeah, they do. Big fan of that. Right, installation is the opposite of removal. Becoming one of those annoying fiddly jobs. This is the belt. I can't really get it back on from the top. My hands are too fat to get in there, so I can't get a good purchase. The only thing I can get on the tensioner is this, and I've tried, and it falls off, and then I can't put the belt on, and you're supposed to slide it over there, and I need to do it from underneath, from inside there, but take wheel arch line and then the plastics, and so anyway, I'm going to do it from underneath when the car's up in the air, because it's going to be a million times easier just to get a bar directly on to do that, and then instead of trying to mess about with a Halford's Advanced 15mm spanner. But that's installed, that's done. Let's move on to something else. Quite difficult as well. There is an angle grinder there because I had to angle grind some of these dowels to make them actually fit. Awesome, really cool. So that alternator was quite expensive, and there was cheaper ones on eBay, which with hindsight probably should have gone for, but I was just worried about it arriving in time. Was £120 including VAT. Not the end of the world, but still not the cheapest alternator I've ever fitted to a car. This though was £4.40 plus VAT, and compared to the one that we pulled out of it, should make a nice bit of difference. Easy. Next thing is this battery with these cool flaps. What do I do? Okay. Wonder if they'll be able to use them. Right, so positive, negative, and there is, which is probably a first for the channel, a battery hold downer as well, which should please the guy who does the MOTs. Lovely, look at that, and that goes there. Nice. You can probably pick the car up off that battery now. Right then, I wonder what these spark plugs are going to be like. Our survey says, yeah, it's black, sooty. Definitely well in need of a change, I would have said. It's getting pretty coked up in there. So yeah, very, very easy to do, very, very simple. And these spark plugs cost £11.36 for 4. How good's that? Pretty cheap, and will help this thing burn a bit better, you know? Right, they're all done. All looking nice. The eagle-eyed viewers out there may notice that there is a couple of bits that I haven't changed. Obviously a distributor, leads, coil, and I did forget about the fuel filter, but they all seem to be working really well, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's try and keep the cost down. Spark plugs, it's nice to change those, you know, they do make a big difference. So all I've got to do now, I'm just going to go around and top up all the fluids with all good stuff, make sure everything's nice, and then we've got to get the belt on there, and then we've got to change the front discs and pads, and I've got to clean the interior. Anything else? I think that might be it. Oh, got to check all the lights and stuff again once we've got the alternator belt on and we know that it's charging, and then we could be ready for an MOT, which is very exciting. I'm going to spin this beautiful old bus round now, and we're going to give the interior a bit of a clean. I did forget to mention how much the battery was. The battery was £72.80. Why are they so expensive? They used to be like 40 quid. I'm sure, I can't remember. Anyway, right, let's spin this thing round. Here are my weapons of choices. Henry Wash, which he does wet stuff. Lots of like brushes and things and cleaning bits, you know, like all good stuff. And then some fast glass from Autoglym, because Autoglym's the best, and then some soapy stuff. And I'm going to start by just essentially going through it and giving it a dry hoover, get all the crap out, you know. Just been hoovering the boot out, and I've managed to find one of the supports that sort of lift the back of this parcel shelf up, but I'm missing this one. Finding that one though has given me an idea. If I use some black cable and sort of measure this, put a little washer on one end and a loop on the other, and just put that there instead. Nice. Open the boots. Yeah. The parcel shelf lifts up. Hey, happy days, we can get stuff in there. Great. So there we have it. She looks kind of $1 million, you know, there's a bit of wear and tear here and there, but overall, clean, tidy. In the back, no more mould. Very, very nice. Lovely. These gold mats are really cool, aren't they? Just, in general, absolutely fine. Now I can't, loads of you are going to be going, take that bloody horrible steering wheel cover off. I can't, it's fucked. That's not dirt, it's just where it's worn away. It wants a new steering wheel, so that's going to have to stay. It's perfectly usable. Very clean. So let's get her inside, get her up in the air, and do these last couple of jobs. Lovely. Indicate right. Lovely. Side lights. Lovely. Headlights. Flash. Magic. Look at that. Really good. Say hello to everybody, Dickie.
Hey.
Say hello.
Cheers.
Indicate right. Indicate left. Put them in reverse. Lovely. And put the headlights on. Right, so we are missing that one there. Remember that. So it's that one there. And then brake. Brake, perfect. So it's just one down. What about fog lights? Oh, I think we've got one. Oh no, both number plate lights working. No fog. Oh, no fog light. No. Ah, you've got it.
Yeah, with main B.
Nice. And off again.
Up.
Yeah, love it. Great stuff. Way! We have a full accompaniment of lights. Brand new. Now, do you remember how this was flopping around like a dog's dick in a shirt sleeve? Well, now I've just, boomf, shoved a self-tapper straight through there, and it's now solid as a rock, and will probably do for another 100 years. This car is quite simply flying together, and I've booked it in for an MOT tomorrow. Quite a lot of me is considering sending this in for the MOT with the tyres like they are, because I've just had a look at them again, and I mean, they're not that bad, and we are trying to do a sort of, let's see if we can do this on the cheap kind of thing, aren't we? So maybe we should sort of see what they say first. Yep. Come on. These haven't been out of here for a while. Definitely sort of seen better days. Not loads of meat left on them. Right, are these pads the right ones? Nice. I do believe they are, except one of them is in much better condition than the other. So they can live in there once I've changed these discs. Is the Milwaukee man enough to move them? That's a negative. Oh. So easy. Okay, nice. Right, go on then, Milwaukee, after I've done all the hard work. Nice. Not in that bad nick. Did anyone see where that went though? Cool. Our surveys. Oh wow. Oh wow. I was going to get the bloody impact driver on those then. That one practically fell out. Oh, look at that. This is amazing. Question is though, are the discs going to be the right ones? They do not appear to be the right discs. Fuck! They go on, but I think these are too big. Where's that carrier? Yeah, far too big. Bollocks. There was two different sizes, and this is the size that we went for, because everywhere said this was the size. Oh, right. I need to get on the phone. I've got an MOT tomorrow. Great. Thinking about it, worst comes to worst, we can just put the old discs on and the new pads, and anyway, cool. The problem I've got now is that Jim Barrow can't get them. So I've had to buy a set off eBay, which might not be here for a few days. 56 quid. So, bit of a pain. Now, I don't know what the best thing to do is. Do we send this down for an MOT anyway with the discs that it's got and just put new pads on them so we're not worrying about anything catching because we've got loads of meat left? So maybe I could do that. The discs, they're not scored, they're not pitted. It's just this big lip going around the edge. Now, I have witnessed people in the past sanding this disc off, you know, this big lip at the edge, just running the car and putting a file on it. But I would never do anything like that, okay? So, just to keep this car on the road and allow me to move it around, I think I should put the pads on these and then we'll send it for an MOT anyway. And if he says it needs discs, it's just another thing that we're gonna have to do. I think we're gonna have to do a bit of welding and stuff anyway, so it's not the end of the world and it'll give us time for the bits to arrive. That's the new pads on and yeah, it's just gonna be, look at all this stuff falling out, isn't it cool? Yeah, it's just going to be like loads better because that lip's pretty extreme, but at least now it's not going to start catching on anything and get into metal on metal. So I've got these bolts to come off here, which is going to allow me to get to that pulley or tensioner, which is going to allow me to put the belt back on for the power steering and for the alternator. There she is, just there. Ah, very nice. Where's that belt? So let me lift her up a bit more as well. That oil filter looks good, doesn't it? Right, so what we need to do is route it first, which is up there, over the alternator. Is that right? No. My hands are so fat. Oh, okay. So we're over that. Rover that. That was a little play on words for you there. Okay, and does feel like we're not quite where we should be on the old alternator pulley. And then that has to route like that. No, that's wrong, isn't it? That has to route like that. Yeah. Okay, are we on? And we are on. Right, so then I have to get something on that and pull it out of the way. This is why I don't do cam bolts, because imagine this, but 10 times worse. Yes, come on, right, okay. Other way, please. Like a glove. Oh, bloody hell. Now, hopefully, when we start the engine, that's not all going to fall off everywhere, but it looks pretty good to me. Should we drain this oil? Nice, okay. Oh, ooh. Wasn't as bad as I thought. Looks like it's had a new copper washer in the last sort of 30 years or so, which is nice. Oh, that was pretty successful. Just gonna change that copper washer. There you go, changed. Oil filter's right next to it. What a lovely car to work on. Might as well make myself useful while that's draining. And I'll put this undercover, splash guard, whatever you want to call it, put this back on. Oh God, someone's done some nice work on this car, I'm telling you. So there we are then. My work down here, for the time being, is done. Only the finest oil going into this, of course. Sorry, not finest, least expensive. That's right, yeah. Right, that's enough in there just to sort of start her up and get the oil circulating around and check the battery to see if we've got a charge. Good news! Here we are with the Rover, she's ticking away happily. It's time to trundle her down the road for an MOT. It's the first time she'll have been on the road in 8 years under her own power. I was going to say steam then, but I thought I'd better not. What do you reckon? Well, I suppose we're going to find out, aren't we? That seatbelt works, that's a good start, isn't it? Oh, the handbrake's very good. Too good. Can't wait to drive this thing round. Oh my god, it's so smooth. It's not far to the MOT place at all. It's literally walking distance from here, which is handy, isn't it? Oh, she's no slouch, you know. She is no slouch. What a thing. Because I've just put those brake pads in, I might just run her up to the roundabout and back. So the tracking's out a bit. That's the first thing I've noticed, but that's fine. Possibly why the tyres are worn, you know. Oh, 5th gear. Window up. So you can hear me. Oh wow, we are motoring along. She feels great. She feels absolutely great. So quiet in here. It's like I'd imagine, I don't know, a Rolls Royce would be like. I've never really driven one. Actually, I have, and it was almost identical to this. God, it's good. No knocks, bangs, rattles, nothing. Brakes seem to be working. And she's got loads of power. It's weird, they just feel like more powerful than normal cars, you know, like modern cars. I think it's because there's no sort of like delay and it's all analog, it's a cable, it's everything, they're all attached, so it doesn't feel like it's going through a committee in a computer before it decides to give me any power. Feels really good, really, really good. What are the brakes like? Yeah. I don't know. They're working. Right then, I'll know at some point in the future if she passes or fails. I mean, I'm pretty confident she is going to fail, just because I think the underneath might be a little bit crusty in places, but it's all sort of how bad is it going to fail, you know? Anyway, we'll find out soon. I'm back with this majestic old bus. It's the next day and I have a piece of paper. So, how did it do? It failed on 3 things and it had a few advisories. The first failure is this, which is pointing this way, so I just need to there you go, point it back at the windscreen. Okay, so that's the first failure fixed. I wish they were all going to be as easy as this. Second of all, it's welding, and third of all, it's welding. So first of all, it's this sill, a few patches as we expected, and then a few patches on this sill as we expected as well, which we're going to do now and then take her for a retest. Can you believe it? But what about the advisories? Well, I mean, who cares? You know, no, I'll tell you them. But it just doesn't matter. It can still drive around with 1,000 advisories. Play in steering rack in a joint offside. It's old, isn't it? Tyres, the 2 fronts. Now, we were going to change them, but we didn't, and I'm glad we didn't, because we don't need to. They are getting close. And it was an advisory on the last MOT, which it done 35 miles since its last MOT. So they do want doing, but there's no point doing them really until you've sorted that tracking. So maybe a job for the next owner. We're trying to keep costs down, you know. Suspension arms corroded on the rear, but not seriously weakened. Well, that's okay then, isn't it? Noted fuel system corroded. Okay. Service brake efficiency only just met. Now, he did say it probably just because it's been sat for so long and it wants a bit of a Italian tune-up, which we're going to give it. So all in all, she's done really well, and I think doing those little jobs first has enabled us to get an MOT with a realistic sort of failure list. Anyway, let's get this inside and get stuck into these sills. So we're up in the air. This is the first one I've seen here, which is, yeah, it's all pretty sort of crusty and weak and it's full of holes. And you can see a bit of yellow chalk there, so he wants us to put, I think we're all right up there, but essentially a strip all the way along there, all the way down to this bit here where there's that big hole finishes. So one long strip, and then this bit here, there's a hole there, and this patch is probably a bit Genghis as well. So another patch on there, and the front's good. Anything on the inner sill. Yeah, this bit here, so again, a patch on there, it'd be nice, it'll give us something to weld to the back of there as well. On this side, up there, pretty good, and we've got a similar situation there. We'll stick a patch on that. That's it for the inner. Anything on the outer? Yeah, and then again, you've got a big patch sort of covering all this. Nice. Now, I know you could just put a set of sills on this car, but we're working to try and keep costs as low as possible. This is going to cost me nothing, just a bit of welding wire, gas and some metal, which I've all got lying around. Sills would be very, very expensive and incredibly time consuming to do. So there's just no need to do that. We're trying to keep the cost down and keep this thing on the road with some MOT patches. Now, I can't remember if I did the price for the brakes or not, because he didn't pick up on the discs. I don't think it's a failure, they're just worn. And I am going to put discs on it because they're just, that lip's too crazy. So if I haven't said the price of it, here's the price of the discs and pads for the front. The first thing I do when I'm doing MOT patches is to grind away the stuff around where you're going to be welding to, and just make sure that you have got a surface there, because if I keep grinding, it's rust, then we've got a problem. So let's start by clearing as much of this debris away as we can. Can you see that nice shiny metal there? That's what we're looking for. If I've got that, I can weld to it. Ace. Quite a large amount of sort of underseal and stuff on here, which is fine, but it was clogging up my flappy disc, so I've changed to one of these. Nice, okay. It's looking good. I need to do that to essentially all of this. So I'm going to do it on all of these holes and I'll show you afterwards. It's quite a messy job this, but we're getting there. So I've still got to sort of do this bit here, but this is in the way. This one's looking nice and straightforward. I might do that one first, just because it's the sort of easiest and it'll be, you know, nice and quick. I still haven't cleaned that bit out. I'm going to do that with my little finger sander shortly. Same as that one there. This one, again, I've sort of done this bit, but I've got to get over this bit as well, but this thing's in the way. This bit here is going to be a little bit more annoying because there's nothing on the edge, so I'm going to have to bend it round there, and then I'm going to have to do a piece down here with a lip on the end, so it's going to be a little bit of a more complicated one, and then yeah, just a panel across there. But I've got to get these things out the way, and here's how you do that completely safely, lol. So I'm just lifting this bit of the car up just enough that it takes the pressure off this and I can swing that out the way. See it? It's coming. Okay, so we're pretty much free. And if that goes, we're fucked. So I'm going to put this somewhere underneath the car that even if it dents a bit of floor or something, at least it's going to stop the car falling on the ground and ruining everything. So I've got a fuel tank there. They're notoriously sturdy, aren't they? So that's under there now, and it's going to be enough because a lot of the weight's at the front of the car just to sort of hold this in place, and we've still got that one over there, and this is taking a lot of the weight as well. But it means that I can get to this and get it all cleaned up, ready to weld it. So let's do that then. A lot of the cleanup is done, and I'm ready to start chucking some plates on and welding stuff up. All this, you see that yellow bit there? That's all definitely going to set on fire and burn the car to the ground. But if it doesn't, it'll be a nice, quick, easy MOT repair. So yeah, I think I'm going to start here, just because I want to, and then we'll go from there. Let's get the welder out. That's my first plate, but obviously it's got to go into the shape former. I've got to be able to put this lip on it, you know, probably that much. They're a fantastic tool, these, and they are relatively inexpensive. Nice, okay. This car's going to be like brand new when it's done. Oh, take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the welds are shitty. Oh, won't you please weld me up? Tidy! Got a big hole there, got a bit of blow through. This one started over here so I can just get get the flow somewhere easy now. Every now and then, just get your air gun and just make sure that the car isn't on fire. Been there before. Remember probably 2009 burning a Renault Kangoo to the ground from welding the sills, so let's try not to do that again. Some really nice bits in that, but the majority were pretty fucking horrible. Lots of blowing holes, blowing more holes than a glass blower. So that one's done though, great. Bit of spray and stuff on that. I've got this one to do, but I need to move the ramp for this. It took a little bit longer than I wanted to, that, so I think this is all going to take probably a bit longer than I want it to. But I'm going to do this one now. Starting with, I think, this big bit, and I'm going to put it down to here, and then I'll have something solid to weld to. The weather is so nice outside, and I'm trapped in here welding this. Anyway, the outer bit of this side is all done. It's looking pretty swell. I've really sort of just thrown tons of weld on this jacking point here, because I wanted that to be super strong. But yeah, it's looking nice. Just going to do that inside bit there now. And then we're cooking, you know. It's the dirtiest job in the world, this, but I'm getting ready to get the sort of, what's smoking under there? Big panel's sort of just been tacked in place now, and then I'll sort of weld it along the top and then smash it up into that crevice there. And then I'm going to do the one behind, give everything a spray like I've done on the other side, but just with a primer for the moment. And I'll get some silver paint on it. I've got some silver paint over there. And then, yeah, we can take her for a retest. What an afternoon. Place is an absolute shit tip. Look at it. What a mess. But the welding's done. Sorted. I mean, it's a fast MOT welding job. It's not pretty. It's not going to win any awards. But hopefully it's going to keep this old girl on the road for another 12 months. I've just given it a final coat of a bit of lacquer just to sort of give it an ounce of protection, and a bit of black inside here. And I mean, yeah, it is what it is. A quality job. So yeah, right, let's get her down from this ramp and see if the man from the MOT place can squeeze us in for a retest. So I've just got back and he couldn't fit me in. He was in the middle of a test and he had another couple of people waiting. So he's told me to come back at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, which is cool because I've been thinking, I owe you all a little road trip to a certain factory or site of an old factory where that car over there was made. And I'll have to check where this one was made. I think it's Longbridge. But anyway, I owe you a little road trip. So I'm thinking, if I come in tomorrow, get everything done, get tidied up, get my bag packed, get the tools in the car, get everything ready to go, get the registration document ready to tax it. If I go there for 11 and he passes it, which would be great, wouldn't it? But if he does pass it, we can hit the road, because it gives me, well, I've got one more day before I can get this video out to you on Friday. And let's spend that day on the road in this amazing Rover, if we can help it. What a time to be alive! It's a pass! This car, believe it or not, is road legal. Where should we go? Just pulled up at the local petrol station, got the V5 and taxed the car, so we're road legal. That cost me £28.54 for 1 month. And it's 340 quid for the year, which is expensive really, isn't it? Never used to about that. Tax used to be 120 and then 240, I think. for these, you know, anything over 1.6 and then under 1.6. Back in the day when things were simple and straightforward and easy. So yeah, I need to set up a couple of cameras, get my sat nav out on my phone, maybe get a sandwich, and then let's go and see what this thing can do. I mean, I'm just dead excited to drive it. My Rover 800, my old granddad's car. What a beautiful thing. So if you're new to this channel, right, there's a whole back catalogue of amazing videos. I mean, I think they're amazing. My mum says they're amazing. But that you should probably go and watch. And one of them, the last sort of resurrection that I did, was quite a big one. There was 3 episodes because it took so bloody long to get it going. On the Rover 100, a P4 from 1962. And I said at the start of that I wanted to take it to where it was built in Solihull. Now, I haven't been able to do that for a couple of reasons, which you'll see next week when the bonus video comes out on that car. But I owe you that road trip. If you have watched that video, I owe you that road trip, you know. We're going to go to Solihull. We're going to head down there in a Rover. Now, this Rover was built in Crawley, Oxford, and that was because there was some sort of deal going on with the Honda Legend at the time, which was, in the Mark 1 at least, sort of a shared platform thing that was going on, you know. So they said, you have to make it there, which is fine. But we're going to go there today to Solihull because it's a lot closer. It's probably 2 hours away, and we're going to have a look at what's there now, which I think is a big Jaguar Land Rover factory, but I'm not sure. I guess we're going to find out. So what's this thing like? Well, I mean, it's been locked away in a garage for, the guy said 10 years on the listing for it. I'm sure it's only 8, but he said 10 years. It only did 35 miles between MOTs last time though, so it's a long time off the road. And currently, I'm driving along like it's any other car on the road. It's absolutely beautiful. It's wonderfully sort of comfortable, and there's no rattles, there's no bangs. It's just a lovely, lovely place to be. I wish the tracking was done because it does pull a little bit to the left, and I hate a steering wheel that isn't perfectly straight, but it's absolutely fine to use, you know. I seem to just be humming along beautifully. I couldn't get any petrol at that last petrol station because it was all chock full of people because they were filling the tanks, the petrol station's tanks. So it's sort of it wasn't possible, but I'm going to stop at the next place and then we'll have a look over everything, we'll check everything over, and we'll make sure that, you know, everything's okay after a few miles, because it'll have been its first few miles in a very long time, you know. One thing I can hear about this car is that it's got a bit of go. I can feel it in my foot, it's just got a bit of power, it wants to accelerate. It's a pretty cool Rover T-Series engine. I think they're supposed to be, is it 130 horsepower or something like that, which, you know, it's not the heaviest car in the world. It's, you know, it's all right. I'd love to see where it fares on the Tower of Power 0 to 60 board. So for that very reason, I bought with us today the now nearly famous Tasty Classics stopwatch. So we're going to find a bit of quiet road later when we know that we're not going to blow the car up and everything's going to be okay, and we'll do a couple of 0 to 60 runs so we can put it on the board when we get back, which would be super exciting. Now the tax, as I said, cost me like 28 quid, so we're up to, I think, about £870 total cost to get this car on the road. 870 quid total cost. I'll put the exact figure up in the corner. That includes a month's worth of road tax. You can't get cheaper motoring for that. 800, you can't buy anything for 870 quid anymore. Absolutely fantastic. Now it does need some more stuff. It's missing a couple of little trim bits. The paintwork on this back door and quarter is probably, you know, could do with being a lot better. But everything else, I mean, it's as good as gold. It doesn't want for anything, you know. Even the stereo works, which is brilliant. So what I'm going to do with this, I've decided, is I'm going to stick it on eBay for the exact figure as an auction, 7-day auction, the exact figure for what it's cost me so far. So not including any of my labour, just all the parts and stuff, everything, so it wipes its face. And then if it gets any more of that, great, fantastic. But it's going to be on eBay. I don't know if it will be on eBay straight away. It might take me a couple of days to do it, but it's going to be on there probably by Sunday. And that'll be like Sunday the 11th of March if you're watching this in the future and go, oh, I think I'll go and have a look at that. But yeah, it's going to go on there. If it makes any more than that, fantastic. But if not, it's going to be an awesome practical classics for someone. Practical classic car. You know, they'll be able to just get stuck into this and just do some improvements over time, but just drive around in something that is not a normal car, you know, something a bit unusual on the roads. Just pulled over at the petrol station just to sort of check on everything, and I mean, it's just good as gold. It's just driven here, you know, just like a completely modern car, but this car is not modern. It's 31 years old. 31 years old, and it's just cruising along. It's great. Awesome bit of kit. So I put 40 quid's worth of fuel in. We'll see how far that gets us. That's how much it's given us there in the tank. 119,773 miles. Kind of feels like it as well. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's totally good. Really nice having a stereo that works as well, you know. Amazing. Better turn that down in case YouTube throw the toys out the pram. But yeah, really good. What about this thing though? The sun might be coming out soon. Oh, okay. Is this a good idea or a bad idea? So, that way to open. Oh, wow. Look at that. Oh, yes, please. Now all we need is these clouds to disappear and we can get some sunlight in. But yeah, look at that. And then close it again. Amazing. Oh, look at that, it just tilts up as well. I might leave it like that. No, I won't, just in case you guys can't hear me. So good, so good. Right, let's see if she fires up and we'll hit the road. What a dream boat.
Easy rider on the highway. Station wagon going slow. Windows open, you are basking in the bluegrass radio. It is easy now to see you with your hand out on the wind. I keep this folded at the corner so that I could not forget. Folded at the corner so that I could not forget. Pink azaleas by your driveway shade our leisurely goodbyes. In your terry cotton sweater with your arms sweeping the sky. It was then I had a knowing you were waving till the bend. I keep this folded at the corner so that I could not forget. Folded at the corner so that I could not forget. stay. In your shadow to the coast, past the surf and whitewashed beaches, under cypress trees and smoke. Carved like lovers into driftwood. On this moment I depend. I keep this folded at the corner so that I could not forget. Folded at the corner so that I could not forget. Folded at the corner so that I could not forget.
I've just been through the M6 toll, which I'm sure was like £2.90 last time I was here, and it just cost me £8.90. Is that because I'm in an old Rover 820? £8.90 to go on a road? I've just paid 30, almost 30 quid for a month's worth of road tax. What was that for? Oh my god. Anyway, WYNNE over. I'm cruising along. I've got maybe 15 miles or so left before we get to this Rover place, Solihull near Wolverhampton. And yeah, the car's going great guns. It's just zipping along. Temperature's great. It's used a tiny amount of fuel, like maybe an eighth of a tank, if that. And I'm just zipping along. I'm happy as Larry. I've got Jeremy Vine on radio too. It's brilliant. I absolutely love it. It's just a great solid bit of kit. I wish Rover carried on making cars. You know, you had the 75 and then some MGs and stuff. The Rover 75 was amazing. I had a CDTI Rover 75 and it had 160,000 miles up it. And I just used to go up and down the motorway in it all the time. It was brilliant. It was such a good car. Very comfortable. And I think, like, I don't know what was going on in the sort of late 80s, early 90s, but these things, and the French stuff as well, they were like having wars over who could make the most comfortable seats. Vauxhall was in on it as well, you know. Just, these are so comfy. I'm supported everywhere, you know. Such a nice seat, such a nice driving position. I could just sort of rest my arm on there, you know. Really, really well thought out. Definitely incredibly comfortable cars made by the old British Leyland and Rover group, you know. Anyway, we're not far away, so keep my eyes on the road and I'll see you when we get there. So I think I've arrived, but I'm not quite sure where to go. It just says Land Rover sort of all gates and then didn't say anything. And now there's a load of cars in the middle of the road. So I'm going to head to Land Rover all gates and we'll see what we can find there. Maybe I could find someone to ask. I could point to, actually no, because it's not this car, is it? I could show them a picture of the Rover 100 and go, excuse me, was this built here? And hopefully they'll go, oh yeah, my dad did the dashboard on that. Maybe not. God, this thing's rapid, man. Right, JLR, Jaguar Land Rover. In some ways you could say Rover are still making cars. I mean, Land Rovers and stuff are still cars, aren't they? Hi, pal. Can I ask you a couple of questions? I'm filming for a YouTube thing, but I'm looking for, like, do they have a visitor centre or something here?
Yeah, it's in North Lane.
Was it North Lane?
North Lane. It's the other side, so you have to come around from here then.
So go round there,
Yeah.
and then follow that.
Yeah, so spin around, go back out to see, yeah?
Yeah, perfect. Cheers, mate.
Thank you.
You've just got to ask sometimes, haven't you? Perfect, thank you. Oh my god, it's a visitor centre. So we made it all this way. There's a visitor centre there. Let's go and check it out. So that was really interesting. Obviously, it's a little bit difficult to sort of film in there and stuff, but it was nice to sort of go in, had a chat with them, and yeah, so essentially this is the manufacturing section. This is where that P4 would have been built, but it's now over 4 sites. It's humongous, absolutely humongous, this place. I'll try and get a couple of sort of pictures of the scale of this thing, you know. It's insane. But it's just really interesting to see the sort of scale and everything of it. And it's nice because I've got a Land Rover as well, haven't I? So it's good to sort of see all that. And one day we might go to the visitor centre with the Land Rover, who knows? Or if I do a Resurrection, a Left 4 Dead Land Rover at some point, who knows? But it's really nice to see it. And mainly, I just wanted to get out in this thing and see what it's all about. And it's been such a nice drive all the way down here. It's been so good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get back on the road. I'm going to look for somewhere to do some 0 to 60 tests. A quiet stretch of road on the way back. And we'll see what this thing can do. Because I checked before and it will hit 60 mile an hour in 2nd gear. Right then, let's get back on the road. I spend so much time in that workshop, in and around that workshop. It's just great to be able to, for the sake of it, just come out and have a drive, you know? Nothing really, you know, going on. It's just a day out, it's a day off, you know, it's nice. I've just been jamming away to the best of James on cassette tape. Doesn't get much better than that, does it? In my old Rover. And I'm just, you know, it's the experience of driving a car for me. One of the things I've always enjoyed doing, I've loved doing, is experiencing different cars, looking at how they're put together and the nuances and the variety in everything, you know, from the way an air vent works to how the buttons are laid out and the dials look and everything, and the steering, just all of it, you know. It's all engineering. To me, it's artwork. I don't know about you, but to me, I've always found this sort of stuff to be like art, because someone's designed it. A designer has designed it, you know, and I just love it. And this is brilliant. This Rover is really, really cool, and I'm glad I got to experience the 820. I've always wanted to do a Rover 600 as well, so I'll be looking out for one of those in the future. But yeah, what a wicked, wicked car. I've not got ages until I get back home now, but yeah, absolutely fantastic car. Really, really enjoyed this one. And there's some cars that want to go back on the road, there's some cars that don't. The P4, she put up a fight. This, she wanted to be back on the road. She didn't want to be trapped in that garage anymore. You know, she did not want to be there. Do you remember what it was like? It was just covered in crap, covered in just dust and, you know, belongings, and people had just stuffed things in there on top of her, you know, for years and years. And now she's just roaring down the motorway again like nobody's business, and I love it. It's a great piece of kit, real nice bit of British motoring history. Great bit of kit, and I hope whoever takes it on can spend a bit of time, tidy it up, do those little jobs and just enjoy it. Take it to some festival of the unexceptional, you know, that kind of stuff. But yeah, nice thing. Just pulled over on the side of the road because I noticed the temperature gauge went down to completely zero right on the bottom. I don't know if there's any water in it. Radiator's hot. But yeah, it just went down completely to zero. I think it might have used all of its water. I have got some water with me though. Am I going to open this now? Is it going to spray water everywhere? Can feel some pressure. No, there's no pressure in there. Oh no, it's full of water. This is full of water. What's gone on? Oh no. Is everything okay? It is really cold, and I was flying along doing all sorts of mile an hour, and the fan is obviously on. I mean, the radiator's really cold there, where the fan is. Maybe it's just cool. It's got water though. Pipes on, you know. Everything feels normal. Interesting. See how we get on. But I stopped because the temperature gauge went right down to the last. That's where it's been sat most of the day. But yeah, see it dropping there now. Just dropped all the way to the bottom. What's that all about? Heaters are a sort of, where is that? Feet heat. Whoa, dust. Interesting. Maybe it is just cold. Okay, let's carry on. Interestingly, as I've gotten sort of off the motorway where I was rushing along doing 70 mile an hour plus that, the temperature's just gone back to where it was before. It's gone completely normal. So I think because of the air rushing past it, the fact that the fan was on, sucking all that ice cold air through, it's about 5-6 degrees outside, it just got cold. I think that was it, it just got cold. And when I stopped on the motorway, just briefly, I used this new app on my phone that records 0 to 60s. So because I was able to, from being stopped, to join the motorway speed again, it was totally cool. And you'll find out what that 0 to 60 time was as soon as we get back to the workshop and we can stick it on the tower of power. So hang on for a few more minutes and we'll find out whereabouts this thing goes. I'm hoping it's going to be near the top because, well, it's quite a nippy little thing. 2 litre 16 valve powerhouse. As soon as we get a gap, let's go for it. Why does all the traffic come now? 3, 2, 1, go. Lots of wheel spin. Nice. What did we get? Oh, it's good. It's good. This thing's got so much power that it blew one of its own wheel trims off somewhere between here and South Birmingham. Whoops. So there we have it then, as we draw this sort of epic resurrection adventure to a close. It's been loads of fun. I've properly enjoyed it. I remember I was 6 years old when these cars came out, and as I was growing up I used to see them around everywhere and thought, you know what, they're pretty cool. I like the look of those cars, and it's so nice to be able to get a chance to get up close and personal with one, and just spend 5 hours driving around the northwest and really giving it some stick in places, you know. And it's just been great. What a lovely thing to drive, and I'm so glad that I got this opportunity. And thank you very much for watching as well. You know, you make all the difference. And yeah, if you've left me a comment and a like, and if you've hit subscribe, then listen, massively appreciate that. But before you go, how does it do on the board? So this is the 0 to 60 side. Okay, this is the lap times if we take it to a track, but this is the 0 to 60 side. And if you haven't watched any of the sort of standalone Tower of Power videos, please go and give them a watch. There was one where we did a Citroen C4 against the Daihatsu Copin, and that was mega. But how did this Rover do on the 0 to 60? Where do you think it placed? So apparently, according to Google, this engine's 140 horsepower. It's a 2 litre front wheel drive. Where do you think it got to? The Citroen C4 was 1.6. That did 1148. So surely it's got to be up here somewhere. Toyota MR2 981. Did it beat that? That was a 2 litre 16 valve as well. Unfortunately, it didn't beat that. But it did beat the Porsche by a whopping... Are you ready for this? 1 second. No, 0.1 of a second. Sorry, 0.1 of a second. So the Porsche did it in 10:18, the Rover did it in 10:17. Now, I think this could have gone quicker, but I couldn't get the power down, man. The roads were quite, so everywhere I was taking off seems to be quite dusty and dirty, and it was just spinning up like mad. Loads of sort of immediate torque. So if it was maybe, I don't know, some better tyres and maybe some better tarmac and stuff, I possibly could have got a better time. But out of the 3 runs that I did, that was the best one. So it's number 3 on the 0 to 60 chart. I can't wait to see more cars on it. And let me know if you've enjoyed seeing this one. And I'll see you in the next video, probably next Friday. Bye.